Why hello again. Another little short video. This is on a couple of things. One is been asked by quite a few people about my layout, which I'll show you shortly. And recently somebody asked me about when you do a program, is he wants to keep doing the program, which in one sense you can actually, when you press the program there, it comes up and all it does when it finishes, you just press a little blue button again and it does it all again. You can do that. But one of the things he wanted was the fact that if you look at my layout, which is like over here, he's got stations over here. And what I wanted was a train to go from there, to go round and round and round and stop there. And then do it all again as if he was picking up passengers. Now that's an ideal situation if you've got a very large layout and you get very large loops, and you can have trains individually running around the back while you're doing stuff here in the front, or in my case on the side. So one of the things you can do is, such as this one here and that one there, they've got programs, and most of them have got programs. And what you can do with this, once you've got the program and set it up and it's working correctly, what you can do is if you go to your programs, which are here, there, we find that particular one which was the class 29, which is that one there. That's the class 29. Now what we're going to do is we have to put in a repeat at the start and then at the end. So what we do is you click on this one here, and what we're going to do now is put a plus sign. It goes in there, but we can shorten this afterwards. So what we can do in here, we'll put in 010, and let's put the number locks on. There's the number locks. 010 in there, which is that one. We now go to programs, which is down here. In here now, we go into this as a list, and what it actually is, there is, when it comes up, there's one called repeat n times, which is that. In that, where the n is, if you take the n out, which is going to be this, and we put in 2, so you can actually put in as many as you want in there, and we've done that one. Now what we're going to do with this now, we're going to push this by pushing these buttons here, and we push it right to the top. We now go right to the very bottom of the program, which is here. We go here like this, and what we do now is we put another plus, which will go underneath. Now you can get this to do it straight away afterwards, but what we'll do is we'll put in 135. 135 gives it a bit of time between one of them, which is basically when a train's going to be stopped in the station, and it's do that on there, which is the program one again, and here we now look for the end of programs, which is there, end repeat, there, end repeat. So what we do now is, because we're changing the one, our normal program, we'll just put in here, do it, repeat, and we do this. That should now do this. Now what we do now is we go into here now and see if it works. We go to class 29 repeat, which is there. Now we do this. Now we'll have to watch the train now. Of course it's this one. Now new class 29. There's the lights come on. You might just be able to see it here, with the light coming through. And then you'll see the cab come on. There we go. Now we should do the horn once, and then it'll go. There we go. Now it's going to start off and go around and do his little loop. As I said before, this model is absolutely beautiful. The detail is superb. This is one of the Dapple Class 29s. Now we'll start to build up as it goes on there. There it goes. And we'll do one more loop and then it'll stop. And see what happens after that. Here it comes again. Now it's slowing off. And so it should now. This one's got a bit of a long time switching down, so it stopped exactly where it should stop. There's the cab out. There's the lights out. There's the sound. There's the sound. Cable coming on again. Wait for it again. Should start up again in a minute. There we are. The lights haven't come on, but I'm just showing you exactly what you can do with it. It's all clicked in. Just sometimes you might have to run it a couple of times before it settles itself in, but it's now going round again, and it'll do the same again. So it should slow off now and switch off, and that's done it. Here it comes. And stopped. Now the cab lights should go out, and then the lights, and then the engine turn on. So it has, this one's particularly not really well good to demonstrate. The fact is, listen to this, it takes that long for the engine to shut down. The only way you could do that is that time when we actually got it to stop and to repeat itself. You can extend that a little bit more so it does give this engine that time to shut down. And that is it. That's how it does. As easy as that. So it's just putting a repeater at the start with any amount of times you want, and an end one. Make sure that you put a little bit extra on, just a little bit extra on, so that if you got a train like that in the station, it gives time for the passenger to get off, passenger to get on, and then it'll start the train off again. And that is as easy as that doing repeats. Now then, as regards my layout, sit in a room which is 8 foot by 8 foot. It originally started here, which was just here, which is 6 foot by 4 foot. That's what my original was, and it was off a track plan, a track mat which I had with my original train set which I originally bought, which had got that siding there, it got these two tracks down here, it had got that crossover there, and that was it. Then I added these bits here, which is another one there, which is the station going round. But also what I found is because I was going over the points here onto that track, I couldn't get back to this track. So what I actually did then, I actually fitted a crossover there as well. So they can actually get them coming from out here, round, out and out on the outside track. This original track, on my original track plan, what it was here, this used to be that engine shed here. That was my original. Then what I also did is, because when you think of this is the size of it here, this is the normal size of it here, is getting to the back. So mine actually sits on legs with wheels on. So I can actually, you can see it, I can actually move it. I can swing it forward and go around the back. So that was the original part. The next part which I did was to do, I then took those there and made them round there into fiddle yards, which is what you see now, which is up to where we got now, up to that tunnel. I then built all that along here, and then I did another extension and did the back section there with all the Metcalfe houses and street lights on. In actual fact, that one there, I actually made the model shop. The Hobgoblin is where I go to see Steve, and that's where I get a lot of my equipment from. So that was how I did all that, and then I put all the rest of the stuff on. But also is that all my layout is fed from Train Tech. They all come off here, off these plugs. They're nothing to do with the track whatsoever. So one of the things is that I do not lose the power of the locos. They're all fed for that. And all there is there's a buzz wire underneath the track, and there's droppers that come off the tracks and feed it. And that's how it always. I do have, as we do with DCC, I actually do have the Hornby power clips in as well. It's just something that they say they were, and that's how I keep them now. So anything new putting in, I just put them in. But also, as you remember, all this part here I've just replaced. I did have a problem with the Hornbys over here, is more so is that insulation frog. In actual fact, if you actually look at a Hornby one, that is 1/4 of an inch longer than these. These are Picos. These are the Pico ones. And also what I've done, in actual fact, if you look at, these are Hornby point motors. Some of them odd ones are still knocking about. But one of the things, see how close they are to the track. They have to butt up to the track. Now, some of these, like this, where look at that, how far it crosses over, that would hit that and catch on the pins and knock the locos off, or the coaches off. So what I've done is more so like with this one here. I did have a problem with this one. So what I've got is the Pico ones. Actually, in fact, they're a lot better, I find. But also they stand away from the track, so all my coaches can go into there without any problems whatsoever. I use, as I say, Train Tech point decoders. They do all my points. I've got other special ones which do these lighting effects, which is that, and the van, and the welding over there, and there's the little boy here with his camera flashing away. Look, there he is. I do have that. I also do all train set signals. If you've got the Pro, you can control all these. So in actual fact, is there is a double home with the red on that side and green on that. And if you notice on this, it is that way around, amber and then a green. If I go over here and switch the points like that, those actually change over. You can actually just see the red on that one over there. So if you look at these now, that has now changed to green and that has gone to amber. That's the way it should be. I have the same situation here. There's a signal there which operates for that track. But what it is it also, there's one there which does up there and over onto the main track here. Now what actually happens is when you change those points, it means that that track is dangerous. So these signals now actually change to red. Although it's on green, it'll actually change to red because he's got control of that train. Mine are very complex, but that's the way I like to do it. Same as, in actual fact, if you see this one here, this one here is, I can operate the signal on its own, but the router works off those points there. So if I actually come over here and do this, what it'll actually also do, it'll turn my yard lights out, because it's not going there round to the yard, it's going around there. But because it's still on red, I'll now change the signal to green. Wait a minute, wrong one. Let's do it again. There you go, there's the router on. And that's how that works. So I've actually just turned that off again and change them back again, which now brings all my yard lights in again. But I've also got another one here, which is actually, you can just see it, this is an indicator board. By operating that, I can operate that set of points and this set of points. So all I have to do with that is to click on there. That has now changed to a letter M. As you can see, those points have changed and these points have changed. And all I have to do is turn that back again, which is like this. And that goes back to red. The points have changed back again and it's done. Now all my street lighting runs off transformers which sit down here. So as I said, nothing actually runs off this. So all my houses and everything else, they run off the scale scene bulbs with a little plug on the end, and then I've got extension sockets like you've got here, which is this extension socket, but it's got 10, so you can just plug 10 of them into it. So I've got quite a lot of these knocking about around here. I do have little dwarf signals over there which I got from China. They run off special SC1 decoders from Traintech. There's 5 of them over there. They run off, they're all sitting on the board at the back there. So that is how they work. Now what I can do is I've got stuff for cleaning the tracks and everything else, but one of my special tools is this, which is a litter picker. If I've got something over here that falls off, catches, I can actually grab hold of it, pick it up, bring it on the front and sort it all out. Wagons at the rail, I can pick them up off here. Even these trains which are heavy, I can pick that up off there and bring it back to here. It's a brilliant little piece of, quite cheap, but say they're the best thing I had. So what actually also is, this is my sidings of course, and my turntable up there. Then this, as I said, this moves. Now when I built this, I can see now there is no space for me to get round. But this section is hinged here. So all I have to do is fold 2 legs underneath and this lot will fold down the side and I can get round the back, which is very good from my point of view. Than having to struggle under here, because there's thousands of wires underneath my track and I am not going under there, because if you catch them, someone like the hairs of a, like the thickness of a hair, so it'll catch one and they all go off. I've got a couple of problems at the moment. This one here is not flashing, I need to fix that one. But mostly it's look, some of the stuff like the decoders, the ones here on the front and the ones at the back, which are my Train Tech decoders, I've had them 8 years. All my Train Tech stuff here, I haven't had a failure on anything here whatsoever. This is a DAPL signal, of course, and that runs off a Train Tech decoder. I can get this can do 2, but you can also, because now you can get the double-headed signal, so you can actually run off this one decoder unit and do the lot. So everything in here, these are little Train Tech lights. These are that's what they look like that. You just clip them into the track and they're just there, they just sit there. Now, one thing I'll just show you is, if I can do this properly, is, as you can say, you see it like this, it's no problem. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Just darten it down a little bit. And this is what it looks like when the lights are out. There's all the main town, the station. So everything is lit all the way around. I don't do anything around here. I don't see the point in it down there. And I'm not going to put anything on here because just in case I've got to tip all this lot off, I need to do that. Now then, I do know one thing, as I showed you before, is this thing, which is my alpha meter. It's showing 0.73 of an amp. That's got 35 trains sitting on it. If I took them all off, it'd go down to nothing. But even with these 2 on, it'll run about 1.5 amp. Now, I have an Elite, as people have spotted up here, which is 4 amp, which will do that. So I've got 3.5 amp to play with, which will never happen in here. And also I've got a Railmaster downstairs with an E-Link. It's where I set up my locos, test my locos, do my programming and everything else. So that is a little look around my layout. So I say this is all Metcalfe stuff which I utilise. My cars, which I'll put on, they are. These are metal cars, I had them from China. They were about 12 pounds, they're 12 volt. They just got, I just picked this up, 2 wires. You just put them to 12 volt and that does it. So if anybody does have any problems with Railmaster or wants to know about Railmaster, one thing you can actually do is to contact me. Make sure you put TeamViewer on, which I've explained before how to put TeamViewer on. If you don't, I can actually send you the video how to do it. And one of the things I can actually do, I can show you around Railmaster all the different tricks. I've been doing this for 8.5 years now, and I've had hundreds and hundreds of people contacting me. I've been online to them in Australia, New Zealand, as I said before, over in Dubai, in Scotland, Ireland. I do everybody. Anybody can get contact with, do it. And I can do all this type of thing, such as like this one here, is when you normally have yours on, you'll only see them, and you've got to, there's a little thing and program in there which you can make it so you've got 16 functions sitting up on the screen all at once. Another one is most people see a little tortoise hair and a stop there or a hand there. I can change them round. I can change all different things around in this system. So if you want me at any time, please contact me. I'm on 01782 30294. My email address is there, and please again subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.